Hey, let's go ahead and get started with a reading for you guys. Collective tarot reading. All right. First card's out. We've got conclusions are within reach. A win-win outcome is forecast. It's time to take action. Emotions are running high. Then we've got work through your fears. The energy is gaining momentum and bring love into the situation. I see someone here is contemplating life. I feel like you are weighing out the good from the bad, what's working, what's not working. I feel like, you've been really wanting to make a major change in the course of your life. And I feel like this is a time for you to overcome whatever it is that's been holding you back. Okay. Now, once you do that, we have it's time to take action and the energy is gaining momentum. First, you needed to weigh out all your options of like, okay, well, I could do this and I could do that. What's working, what's not? Who's with me, who's not? And then a lot of you are like bargaining, well, if I do this, then I have to leave this behind. And, but it says, listen, it's a win-win outcome. So no matter what you choose to do, you can't go wrong. The only way you can go wrong is if you just keep going down the same path that you're on, and not actually make any changes. You need to make some tweaks to what you got going on. And Spirit's saying, like, conclusions are within reach. It's almost like it's so close yet so far away. And all you have to do is, like, take action. And once you take action, it's like everything's going to speed up in the process. I do feel like, there's going to be a lot of emotion regarding this situation, but there's also a lot of love, So it's like you could end up finding people that, are more in alignment. You could end up finding love in whatever decisions that you're making. Or you're just going to love the situation that you're going into. I do feel like this is time. The next set of cards we got out is exchanging gifts, go the distance, here and now, never ending story, truth be told, new life, and higher power. So this is about like not giving up, going the distance. Like, keep going regardless. It's time for you to get honest with yourself. And it's time for you to get honest with the people that are around you, And it's time for you to get honest when it's like you're looking at these situations and you're like, is this really working for me? Like, can I go any further in the job that I'm in? Can I go any further in relationship I'm in? Can I go any further in where I live? Is there going to be any more opportunities? Or have you already done everything where you are? And I feel like it's like you can either stay stuck in the here and now, or in the past, or you can actually make new decisions for the future. Okay, once you make those new decisions, it's like you're off to the races, because I do see, like, again, it's like charging forward. I think for a lot of you, you're just tired of the never-ending story. You're tired of things not getting any better. You're tired of going around in circles. You're tired of just the same old song and dance. And you can't, you have to look at that and go, okay, well, what do I need to do to change that? Well, you're going to have to change courses. You're going to have to close some doors while opening others, but you're going to have to get honest with yourself. And that way, when you get honest with yourself, that's when you can start planning for this new life ahead. It's like, I see so many people who always have all these fucking excuses as to why they can't change anything. Oh, well, this person will think this, or, oh, well, I can't, I won't be able to make this amount of money, or, oh, well, and it's like everybody has an excuse for something, and for every problem or every solution, they find another problem, right? So I do feel like you are being led by a higher power, your higher self. It's like you're needing to listen to your intuition and your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors. Because it's like if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. And there's just the prime time with all the eclipses that we just had. We had Jupiter conjunct Uranus, which is another 14-year cycle that we just started, of really amazing opportunities. And I just saw 444 on the clock. So fours could be relevant to a lot of you. And funny enough, we do have the number 4 here as well. Okay. So I do want to say, like, like fours are about structure, stability, foundation, and family. And maybe for some of you, this has a lot to do with your stability. And you're like, I'm tired of the way things have been going in my life. And I need to make a change. I need to decide on what I want to do next. Because, again, like, I'm looking around at my life and I'm constantly stuck in all these situations that don't feel good. I can't find somebody to date. You know, no matter how much I work, I'm not able to get ahead. I really don't like my job. I don't like my, I don't like my surroundings. Can't stand my neighbors. You know what I mean? Like, how many of those do you fall into the category of? Then do something about it. You're going to have to embrace change instead of sitting around and going, okay, well, I'll just stay here. It's like, it's funny because I see this card here, right? And it's like, you got to pay attention to the red flags. Like, she's looking down at all these opportunities. She's got this egg, and it's like been incubated long enough. And so it's like, maybe the past is what holds you back, and it's time for you to really move towards like your future goals. And especially what's clarifying it is your new life. It's going to cost you. I almost get that between the worlds card, But it's like, you maybe your gifts are better used elsewhere. It's like maybe where you live, they don't really need your services. So you need to go somewhere else where they're actually looking forward to your services. Right? So I do feel like, maybe your business will be better elsewhere because the vibration will be different. Say you're going to move your business from one area to another. It's actually going to help your business flourish because of maybe the timeline and maybe the birth chart of your new creation. Like, you'll have an old established business, but then you could be moving it to another energetic field, and then all of a sudden you notice that you skyrocket. Right? Business strategies, you guys, and it does have everything to do with your natal chart as well, and the natal chart of the business. And maybe that'll help you. Like, maybe you're tired of hitting a brick wall and this never-ending story of where you are. And this higher power is telling you, like, I see that you're getting frustrated, but you need to bring love back into what you're doing. And I think that you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to exchange your gifts with other people because they're more in alignment with what you're doing, okay? It's almost like, you can be, like, say you chop wood for a living. That's not going to go very well chopping wood in, a warmer climate, what are you going to do with the wood? Maybe that wasn't a good one. I don't know why they brought that up, but I'm talking about like firewood. You're not going to go to a warm place and chop firewood because you're not going to have a business there because they're not going to need the wood for that. They're not ones to burn the wood. You know what I mean? So they're not going to need it for warmth. So you're going to need to go somewhere like Alaska or Montana or Idaho or something like that, or Maine or whatever, freaking Iceland, where you can cut down, and make wood off or money off your cords of wood. Do you see what I'm saying? So, if you were chopping wood and you were planing it for people to build houses, if you do that, just FYI, you need to get your old old 2x4s are very much appreciated, not these new ones. Anybody watching, wink, wink. But you know what I'm saying, right? So it's about really being honest with yourself about like what you need to do next. And I feel like go the distance. You know what I mean? Keep going. You might feel like sometimes you're hitting a brick wall and it's like this, oh God, is this ever going to end? And it's like, yeah, as soon as you make these decisions, you've got the keys. Like, what I'm getting is you have the key. Not a bad reading here, you guys, honestly. I do feel like, there is a lot of emotion, a lot of fear that is, is in all this. And once you get past all that fear, like, that's when you're going to make great strides. And listen, some of the scariest things that we will do are the best things that we could ever do, right? It's when we're afraid, that's when we should make it happen. We've got the Knight of Fire, which talks about confident, passionate, and adventurous. So for a lot of you, This is about going on an adventure. This is about, going down a new path and discovering new things about yourself. You flying right in. The Knight of Fire is also the Knight of Wands, and that in the old traditional, it was about moving, okay? Because it does talk about adventure, but this is also about movement too. So we do have the Two of Fire, which is about planning, partnering, and progress. So choices being made, okay? Decisions. Twos are all about decisions. You could have other people who are helping you make these decisions, all right? And then we've got Justice here. So we have that twice when we see the Libra card here, and then we see the Libra card here. So this is about the scales of balance being, being balanced. This is also about karmic justice, right? The laws of cause and effect. So what you put out, what you get back. Whatever seeds you have sown, right, whatever seeds you plant is what you get back. So you reap what you sow, is what I'm hearing. And the Nine of Water, we've got wishes, dreams, and happiness. So at the bottom of the deck, with the conclusions are within reach, this is about the conclusions I do feel like for some of you, you've got gifts coming, like the universe is ready to gift you whatever hopes, wishes, and dreams that you have. Okay? So this is about, and funny enough, I feel like the eclipses is what has started this for you. So we did have those eclipses back in April. So I do feel like this is the kickstart to whatever this is. And I do feel like, and I think for some of you, you were blowing on the dandelions. Maybe, and I know I found myself doing it, and I do have some things that are happening right now in my life. And once I get over onto the other side of them, I'll be more apt to sharing. I'm the kind of person I'm getting better at this. My whole thing is, don't tell anybody what you're doing, because once you tell people what you're doing, they can always put a negative spin on it. And, sometimes it's just best that you don't tell anybody anything. Keep it to your freaking self. That way nobody can put their negative spin on your shit. And I know that kind of sucks, but, I've even been told by other readers who have done my readings, tell nobody. Keep it to your freaking self. And I've been told that more often than not. And it's hard for me because I'm so transparent. But I'm learning more and more not to be as transparent as I used to be. And I'm also learning more and more the people that I'm safe telling and the people that I'm not safe telling certain things to. And you just have to know who's got your back and who doesn't. So, and that can be part of because people can instill their fear in you and keep you from going that distance. It'll keep you from moving forward because you're too afraid to do so, because maybe this person or these people don't have what it takes to actually do what you're doing, and they're afraid, and so they try to put their fear off on you, if that makes sense, which I know it has to. But Spirit's like, you got to do it anyway. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, that's their truth, not your truth. And, so you do have to keep going, and you just have to trust in a higher power. I get some people are wanting to, save you from stuff, but listen, whenever I have to make a jump, it's because it's when I start seeing myself getting put into a situation that's getting ready to go bad, and I see it coming from a mile away, and I'm like, all right, and all it takes is for somebody I can feel when energy shifts, and then that's when I know it's time for me to make that next jump. But other people looking in might see that as you always end up in that situation, and it's yeah, that's the universe's cue for me to go. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. My energy doesn't shift, but the energy shifts, and that's my cue of okay, it's time to go now. But other people are well, you always end up in that situation. And I'm yeah, but that's my cue to go, if that makes sense, And so I don't get mad about it. I just get up and go. It's I don't sit around and wait for it to get so freaking horrible. I just make the jump. I'm all right, enough of that. I don't like that. But if the universe didn't do those things, then I wouldn't, I would stay where I am and nothing would change. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that we go through these experiences, but outsiders might see that and they want to have judgment on that. And that's where we've got, you know, these Libra cards here. Actually, we'd have 3 Libra cards here. We've got Aries here, Aquarius, and Scorpio. So, you know, but I get it, you know, but at the end of the day, it's still just is. But it's to get you to go towards your happiness and your dreams, right? It has to go bad in order for us to make those jumps. Otherwise, we won't go anywhere. We won't do anything. You know, we'll sit in our pile of shit and just bitch about it. I don't plan on doing that, you know. I just make room for the next jump and I get excited about it. Yeah, look at that, bottom of the deck. Again, we've got worry, doubt, disappointment, regret, you know. And maybe that's what it came from. It takes us getting from that to light a fire under our ass and be like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this shit. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm tired of the regret. I'm tired of the sadness. I'm tired of feeling this way. And I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm ending that cycle. I'm not going to continue with this never-ending freaking story. I'm just going to move along. And that's justice being served, you know? So again, I actually really like this reading for you. I do think I do see things that are actually about ready to flip around for a lot of you. And I think it's going to happen very suddenly. It's in the energy. I mean, today we have Sun conjunct Jupiter. Like, this is some pretty freaking amazing energy, but it's going to cause a lot of change between the collective. There's going to be fast shifts, and that's for the next 14 years. It's to get us into alignment for what's about ready to happen. You know, so there is going to be people who are disappointed, and that's a given. That's, you know, and that's on them. You know, and you're never going to make everybody happy. And, you know, at the end of the day, I call it the 7-second lottery. People are going to be happy for you for about 7 seconds. And then they're going to look about what are they missing out on? What are they, you know, and how can they keep you hostage in your situation sometimes out of their own selfishness? And that doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that, you know, they love you and they don't want to let you go. But if they truly loved you, they would want to see you grow from your situation. And the reason why I mention other people is because we do have the Libra aspects, you know, but again, the Libra aspects are back here. The Aries aspects are in the middle and in the future. You do have Aries right here, which says, regardless, it's time for you to take action. It's time for you to be selfish and say, hey, listen, I'm tired of my life the way that it is. I'm tired of feeling the way that I do. And in order for me to change it, I'm going to have to do something different, which means I'm going to have to be selfish right now and say, okay, but I got to choose me for a minute. You know, I'll be back. I just got other things I have to do. And right now I require some R&R, and I require a different, whether that's a different job or a different relationship, or to be single, or to move, or to travel, or to hide the fuck out. Some of us just need to hide, you know? So at the end of the day, karmic justice will be served. There will be a win-win outcast for everyone. Things are about ready to move forward very quickly. So do it out of love, do it out of kindness, and just do it. All right, you guys? I love you all very much. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information is in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow. And I will chat with you again soon. Take care.